Should be live.
All right, folks, this is only a test. This is only a test. We are testing all systems at this moment, making sure everything is working. We're not doing anything in particular, specifically for the as far as any type of topic or anything. We are just testing all systems at the current moment. Looks like we are live on everything now, so let's check out. Again, this is only a test. So let's go to LinkedIn. Facebook, and make sure everything is working. And we are live on Facebook. Shows us currently live on LinkedIn. We are live on Instagram. We also said YouTube, right? So let's check YouTube. We are live on YouTube. X.com. We are live on X.
Excuse me.
And what else are we live on? Twitch. That's right, Twitch. And we are live on Twitch. So,
Say what again?
and we are live on Twitch, my friend. So we are live across all platforms that we are connected to at this moment.
Right.
I don't see anything that's stopping anything. Not, I don't see anything at all right now that's stopping us. Let me just double check the names on there. Into the live show. Right now. Right now. All right. So
You mind if I try the screen?
do what?
You mind if I try the screen?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't think it's going to work because we're live.
Oh, you're right. Well, let's see.
So let's try some talking and see how that's going to do. Since we are live, we are active on everything. Again, if you are watching this is only a test. It's a live test. I'm gonna go ahead and do a trigger warning because we might talk about trigger. We might say some things that could be considered triggers. Uh, um, so um, if some of the trigger warnings um, could be anything that you might be triggered by. Could be unaliving oneself, could be self harm related, could be substance use related, could be mental health related. If we say anything that you feel like is a trigger for you, please, please, please seek immediate help. If you need it, you can seek immediate help if you are in the United States or any of its related territories by dialing 988, which is a national crisis and suicide hotline. You can also dial 911. And if you're outside of the United States, um, I don't know those international numbers, but if you don't feel like, if you cannot dial those numbers at all, um, uh, uh, please get get to a local emergency center or emergency department or a local crisis center in your area. Um, that's the trigger warning slash disclaimer for us. We're only doing a test. Okay. So, uh, Trevor, go ahead and say something. Let's make sure everything's working on your end.
Well, I just like to say that I encourage anyone that might be triggered for anything that they do the exact thing that Mr. Kevin has said, and because we are not in this broadcast claiming to be any kind of immediate assistance to someone who is in trouble. We are just talking, and we want to make sure that everyone is safe at all times. Safety is priority over all things. So, with this little test program running, glad to be here and part of it and be conducive to getting towards our mission of reaching out to the entire planet with all these issues that we might talk about.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. Listen, we are, we have what, 6 different sponsors right now. WebHash, Vital Apparel, W Energy, not Doobie, but W Energy.
Yep.
We have Bright Life Therapy and Mindfully Me Counseling out of the state of Texas, and we also have
Blame me.
the Place to Heal um, out of Sanford, North Carolina. Those are our sponsors right there. And our goal, between, come again?
Did you say mindfully me?
Yep, yep, yep. I said that. And our goal, and this is why they decided to sponsor us, because our goal as a podcast, right? So this is the interesting history behind this One Moment podcast, right? And this is why,
Oh, it's interesting.
yeah, really interesting, right? So we started a One Moment journal. If you go to one-moment-journalism.io, you'll see our journal. So we have that journal. Um, and it's a daily journal. It's updated daily. It's only a year's project. So I think it ends in August or September, something like that. That's when the last day is going to be. That was created by purchasing a domain off of 3DNS, right, which is a Web3 development project. It turns your domain into an NFT. WebHash, you connect your domain to your website through WebHash. WebHash is also a Web3 development platform. So that was the very first project that we started called One Moment Journal. Now, with that being said, uh, it was around that time somebody said that we should do a podcast. Now, I didn't know Trevor at the time, but I knew Ruben. So Ruben and I, or people were like, "Dude, you should really do a podcast. You really should get a lot of information out there. You should talk about mental health, this, that, and the third." And I'm like, I really need to. Like, am I really? I don't know if I'll be good at that. So, long story short, uh, got with Ruben. I'm like, dude, we should do a podcast, dude. And then I met, Ruben was all for it. That was in, I think, September. May have been October. About a
October.
week later, was it October?
Yeah.
A week later, I met Trevor. I met him because we were both at a meeting one day. It was a mental health related meeting. And so he and I got thrown into the room together, and I told Trevor this, so I know this isn't going to be new for him. I told Trevor when I first heard him talking, I'm like, this is an egotistical butthead, and I didn't like him. And then at the end of the meeting, he and I got put into a room together, and it was only us two. We were the only two guys in the whole room, in the whole on the whole platform, right?
Yeah, we really broke out of there, didn't we?
Right. And I'm telling you, like this guy, he got to talking. I'm like, wow, this guy is amazing. And he talked about wanting to make an impact on the world. He spoke a lot about his passion, um, with helping people and wanting to make a global impact. In that, I mean, just and I heard the story, and I heard the things that he's done in his career and his and what he's currently doing now. And I'm like, dude, you know, you would be a great piece to the podcast, right? Like I was thinking, business relation. I was thinking a lot of things, right? I'm like, this guy would really kick it off. And I asked him about it, and I spoke to Ruben about it. Ruben was down with it, and Trevor was down with it. So we all three got into a group chat. We were talking over the next several months, right? Like we were talking together, and January the 8th was kickoff. Trevor couldn't make it on that day. I forget what you were doing. Uh, I think you were helping to. I think you were helping to test. Kind of follow us on across the platforms and making sure
Yeah.
that we were. I think that's what you were doing that day. And so we completely screwed it up January the 8th. And I say it was bad. It was rough. Trevor's on the other end talking about, yeah, we can't hear you. You're completely froze. Oh, Kev, y'all been kicked off. Look, Trev was participating, but he wasn't live with us. So Trev has been, helping us to build the journal. Trev has been an absolutely phenomenal piece to the team. Ruben is the wise guy. He's been, and I say wise guy like he's the wisdom carrier. He's all of these things. Um, so how one moment came about was I started a, we started the journal. I'm like, well, shoot, I want to secure the name for the business, right? Because Ruben has Live and Thrive, that's the name of his business. And I'm like, dude, we really need to secure the name. So I'm like, let's do One Moment PLLC, and we got that approved through the state of North Carolina. And so Ruben and I took our companies, partnered together to bring the One Moment podcast. That's the history behind this One Moment podcast. Um, and here's the interesting thing about One Moment, right? And I think Trev, I would like for you to pick up after this. Uh, but there's a song, um, and y'all aren't going to be able to hear it. Not on, you know what? Let me play it on. I think you can if I play it through here.
And at my heartstrings, making me think of home.
I know, right?
Yep. I did talk to my
Let
mom.
let me see.
It was
Go
cool.
ahead.
I talked to my mom today for the first time in months.
Sweet, sweet. So this is the song. I was sitting there listening sometime in October as we were kicking everything off, right? Just trying to freaking plan everything. I'm sitting there. Can you hear that? Can you hear
No.
it? Can you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
And this is like the greatest song ever. And this is kind of where the idea just poops out of thin air. And then I'm gonna let you pick it up because you know that one part.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, capture.
Right.
Just let it slip.
Yep. And so that's where,
See, just listening to that gets me all choked up and stuff because makes me think about home a lot.
Yeah.
Specifically to a particular majorly influential person, not only in music and entertaining, but on his recovery. And,
mhm,
and it helps give me strength.
yeah,
Because
dude,
my journey in my life is matched. And I was doing it at least 10 years before him. I didn't think nothing about it. But to have the kind of talent that he's got, I don't have. But I do have talent enough to help other people. And that he's doing it his way. I'm doing it this way. But I'm going to use his platform to bounce off of. So
don't you're dude, and no, you're right. And there's so many times, listen, there's 86,400 seconds in a 24-hour day. Man, are you tearing up over there?
absolutely, man. Makes me think about home. In my
Hey,
15 and 25 fucking years, it seems like.
I'm telling you, listen, this is
Excuse my
one
language.
of those things. Go ahead.
I said, excuse my language. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to curse.
Look, that is okay. But the cool thing about this whole situation is, man, this is 86,400 seconds in a 24-hour day, and we are given approximately 86,400 moments in a 24-hour day. And those moments, we have a decision to make. Every single moment, doesn't matter when it is, what it is, and
You want
it,
a little bit weird before you get going a little bit more? In those 86,400 seconds you said,
hmm
those are all moments that Trevor can stay. They're,
right.
it's pretty popular to, oh, Trevor can stay. Well, I'm that guy. I'm the real Trevor, but I'm always last because my last name starts with a Z. So I always had to live with not much validation. So just getting validated with this is a big thing. And I got a lot of love, family, and friends back there that know me that they may not see this part of me, but that's what it invokes listening to that song and doing what I'm doing right now today in this moment. And I'm just so grateful to be here. No matter what
No,
aspect of life you've known me from, I've never really been the person to do bad to anybody, not in a purposeful way. So I guess that I got that going for me, but I really got this going for me, and I'm thankful. And this part of me, most people don't know the real
no,
me.
no. Well, and I think that's you know, for me, man. I think it goes back to we all have a past, and uh, if you look far enough back in our past, you're going to see skeletons in our closet. Regardless, nobody's perfect. Doesn't matter whether you're a CEO of a healthcare company or uh, whether you're, even at a fast food joint, and anybody in between, any position in between, any title in between, it doesn't matter. And so some of the goals, right, like that we're talking about right now is seeking international accreditation. We found an organization, and we're going to be seeking that probably around what beginning of summer, beginning to somewhere between May and September is when we're going to go and get international accreditation for the podcast, for the One Moment PLLC and One Moment podcast. That is definitely going to be a huge deal. That's going to be one of the very next things we do. We got, we're getting put on various platforms. So we're on across the platform on Spotify, YouTube, X, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Uh, um, Shoot, am I missing anything right now? Look, I post things on focus.xyz. I post things on minds.com. we're doing things on across the board here. I mean, it is phenomenal on what we're doing and some of our goals. So it's our next goal. The reason we're seeking international accreditation is because we want to be recognized as making yeah, we're from North Carolina and Colorado. Had to throw that in there, right? But our goal long term is to have a global impact, make a global impact on mental health, substance use, suicide prevention, suicide awareness, wellness, and anything in between. Whether it be family boundaries, whether it be personal boundaries and recovery, whether it be talking about collectivistic societies such as Asians, Chinese, and anything related to those types of cultures, into individualistic cultures. I mean, there's a plethora. I think I said that right, plethora. Whichever one. I think it's plethora. I always get mixed up on those two, on that word. But there's a plethora of evidence that you know of conversations and topics and things that we're just going to be bringing to One Moment Podcast. Why? Because everything goes back to one moment at a time in life, and that's the goal. That is the ultimate goal, is to help save lives globally, one moment at a time. And if you're reading this and you're in Japan, you're in China, you're in Russia, you're in India, you're in Pakistan, or if you're watching this, not reading, I'm sorry, but if and you're in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Canada, Mexico, New Zealand, Greenland,
Mongolia,
Australia, right, Mongolia,
Tibet,
Africa, yes, uh,
Greenland.
uh, yeah, Greenland, any South American country you can think of. If you want to be a guest speaker on this podcast, please reach out. One Moment PLLC at gmail.com. You reach out to us on LinkedIn if you're watching this on LinkedIn. Reach out to us on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. Facebook if you're watching this on Facebook. Uh, there. Reach out to us. Like, let us know you want to come on the podcast and be a speaker. We invite anybody, everybody from all walks of life, whether you're an active user to struggling with any severe mental health, you know, to moderate mental health illnesses. If you want to talk about culture, if you want to talk about religion, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter anybody. If you want to talk about kidney diseases, brain diseases, lung diseases, what else, Trevor? I
Um,
mean,
if you're a person that needs to get out to the spirit of the wild and you can't get there, it's a hard thing to deal with, because then you'd have an experience like me. Um, but yeah, it doesn't matter what subject it is. If it's got an effect on you and you need some help or to just need to talk about it, we're here for you.
hmm yeah,
Yeah, there's so many things that we can talk about that are affecting our lives every day, even the little things. It doesn't matter what situation it is, how it's affecting you. Um, Things that are far, far from the past that you never been dealing with. Um, there's a lot of things that nature that you need to bring out to be able to honestly say your piece of this world and be validated. Validation is
absolutely.
validation has been kind of a big topic for me today, and I got blessed, blessed with talking to my mom today, and it was the first time her and I like had a real heart to heart and open conversation, like almost in my entire life. But it was a good one, and it strengthened me in a lot of different ways. So today's my 54th birthday, almost to the
Happy
end.
birthday.
Yeah,
How
thank you. I'm
you're
halfway.
what, 22?
Yeah, I'm halfway to 108, man.
22, huh?
No, far from that. That's a long time ago.
Come on
But
now. You should have said yeah.
no,
You should have
I'd,
said
I'd be
yeah.
I'd be seeing my 31-year-old daughter. which I did see her face today, and it was a beautiful thing to have my uh-oh, thinking about home again. Um, yeah, to see her face. And she's a grown woman now, married with her husband, and they live in Michigan, in Livonia, I think is where they moved there in 2015, like 9 years ago. And just seeing her face was made me feel so proud to know that I know she's probably not too proud of me, but I'm doing something I've never done, and I've got the ambition like she's had. I've had to keep track of things like from a long distance for a long time, but she's been in my heart every day. So yeah,
Dude,
that
there's
love
so
never
much.
goes away.
There's so much we're going to be doing, man, with this
Yeah, and
podcast.
so and that's a topic we can talk about too. Is it fathers that don't get to see their kids for long periods of time.
Absolutely. Do you not realize the war on drugs has devastated various minority communities, and it has taken fathers out of the households
Oh man,
completely. Like it has been completely devastating, and so
yeah.
there's so
And then
many things that we're going to
and
be
then you
doing.
have people that are willing to be violent to get that bigger piece of money, and they hurt other people, and that's a terrible thing.
Yep, you are absolutely right on that, my friend.
Sorry, I had to bring you closer because I can't barely hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Okay, but yeah, no, there's going to be so many things that we're going to be doing. Um, so many things that we're going to be talking about on this podcast, man. Tomorrow or today, I think it's today, we got a nice, amazing young lady. She's so freaking amazing. I met with her today. We follow each other on social media, but we finally got the opportunity to meet today. She is going to be phenomenal today. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Looking forward to meeting with her and talking to her more in depth on the podcast. Like it's going to be blown out the water with her on here. Like I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to be doing that. I mean, we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. Um, and listen, I'll put in a request to somebody. Believe it or not, Trevor, it'll blow your mind, brother. Dead serious. Guess who I reached out to come on the podcast?
I don't know.
Jelly Roll.
Uh
Yep.
the the country guy, right? Okay. I'm, I, I don't. I've seen him on a favorite TV show that I like to watch,
Yep.
but they
Yep.
haven't the next season for them up yet. But
Good.
I did see him on that TV show, and it was a good role. He seemed straight laced because he is straight laced.
Look, look. I'm telling you, son. We have so many things. And so, if anybody is watching this and they know Jelly Roll, send it to them. Let them know we want them on the podcast. Uh,
Hell yeah!
Definitely for sure. Look, we're open to. Doesn't matter. Anybody who wants to come on, like it don't matter. Our goal is to tackle the people who struggle, people who aren't struggling, people who just want to listen to some good stuff. I mean, our code of ethics. We were just talking about it right before we went live. Um, but our code of ethics says that you know we're not going to be talking about um, politics, right? Like nobody's going to be in politics on our social media pages because that's what our code of ethics says, right? And if you go to our website, you can read our code of ethics. If you go to onemoment.chain.box, we're not going to be, we can't. That's because of, we're not a political podcast at all. We're a mental health related podcast, but the only time we talk about politics is as it relates to um, policies. And so we are understanding that once we start talking about policy changes, that's going to bring politics into the play there. um but our goal, as far as the podcast, we're not partisan. We don't take sides at all. If we take if we talk about politics and policies and all of that, um as it relates to mental health, substance use, anything related to the field, is going to be from a bipartisan, perspective. But we're going to talk about
I wouldn't even
policy.
say bipartisan. I would say an open mindedness,
Yeah,
open
I guess you should
point.
say that. Open-mindedness, neutral, advocating for potential changes, like we did with the Oklahoma bill, right?
Because
The Oklahoma House bill.
if we really want to get international, and we want to get global, we're not. We're talking about the humankind, and it doesn't matter what you believe in or where you're at, who you stand for or with. You've got issues because you're a human being, and we credit every single human being that's on this planet, no matter what you're going through,
Yeah,
what you're going through as far as
absolutely.
any reason. Um, and we don't we don't throw people away because they don't believe a certain way or a certain series set of beliefs. Or yeah, that's terrible. And you just bring up the negative aspect of a lot of things that is hurting mankind, and we're trying to get other human beings to realize that it is our job to help others, not
Hmm.
to hurt them, not to hurt ourselves,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
No, I definitely agree, man. I definitely agree, and so, I want people to, anybody who's watching this, look, we're on YouTube, One Moment Podcast, uh, Instagram, One Moment Podcast, um, Facebook, One Moment Podcast, X is One Moment PLLC, Twitch, One Moment Podcast, Spotify, One Moment Podcast. We're not on Apple. There's too many one moments on Apple. You have One Moment Please. You have One Moment this, One Moment that. I'll just uh, I don't know if I'm gonna put us on Apple. I don't know if we're going to be on Apple. I don't know that yet. I'm a Some of the goals I do want to get on iHeartRadio. I want us to get up there eventually. Eventually, uh, but I got to find some type of platform that does RSS feed or what. I don't even know. But we're
I
eventually
want our
going.
platform to be integrated into Grok or Meta.
Well, it
Integrated
isn't.
integrated into it.
Well, I wouldn't say
It's
that.
possible.
Well, see, we're already on Instagram and Facebook,
It's possible.
right? But I wouldn't say Grok or Chat GPT. I wouldn't say those two.
Why not?
Um, because there's nothing like it doesn't offer us anything. I mean, it does because it gives us information. We're able to find information
Yeah,
in
you
the
want to
moment and
talk
stuff
about
like that.
getting international real quick?
But no. So we can use that, you know, um, to to help us out with various things. But y'all, what I would like to do is see us not so much integrated with that because it is integrated with AI. The Riverside is integrated with AI.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
all this editing is a lot of it's AI related, that we do. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so, but the one thing I'd like to do, and again, I'm gonna call WebHash out on this.
Uh-huh.
I want the whole platform to be ran. I want this. We use Riverside for our podcasting. WebHash, listen to this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. Okay, I'm tell you, WebHash, we love you, we appreciate you, but hear me out. Hear Mr. Trev out. We use Riverside platform, okay, to stream. What I am requesting, therefore, One Moment Podcast is requesting. WebHash needs to update their platform so that we can run the whole the whole podcast off of it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got this. I believe in us. Listen, we got this. Okay, let's do it. Do the whole streaming, everything off of WebHash. If we do that, man,
That-
the whole platform would then be completely Web 3. Because Riverside is actually considered Web 2. WebHash is Web 3. There's a difference there.
I'm too old. I don't know the difference between all that stuff. But I do know that
Really? Oh my gosh. Listen,
being involved
anybody.
being involved in AI though would integrate us to
I mean,
the level where it can
we're
be
so
just spoken into it and it'll refer you to us right away. Instantaneous.
so there's a difference, right? And I'm gonna tell you the difference. Web 2 is called the write web, which emerged in early 2000s. It's the internet most people are familiar with today, interactive, social, and user driven, such as Facebook, such as Facebook, Google, YouTube, where users can create content, share it, and engage with others. It is centralized, meaning big companies control the servers, data, and rules. You rely on these intermediaries to access services, and they often monetize your data. For an example, through ads is great for connectivity, but comes with trade-offs like privacy concerns and power concentrated in a few hands. Web 3 is coined read, write, own web, which is the next wave, still unfolding its bulk on blockchain and decentralized tech, aiming to give users more control instead of relying on central servers. It uses distributed networks such as crypto NFTs, decentralized autonomous organizations. You own your data often via digital wallets and interact directly with apps or people without middlemen. It promises transparency, censorship resistance, and user empowerment, but it's still clunky. Think high fees, complex interfaces, and scalability issues. It's less about polished social media and more about redefining trust and ownership online. In short, Web 2 is centralized and user friendly but extractive. Web 3 is decentralized and user controlled but rough around the edges. Wants the polished present, the others, one's the polished present, the others the messy future.
Right.
Web 3 is still under development. It's going to continue to be under, excuse me, it's going to continue to be under development um, for next several years. I mean, it's going to be complete. I mean, there's so many things, man. Web 3 is going to be a big, big, huge boom. We're in that fold where it's becoming this much widely known over time. Um, and so having WebHash on our site and as a sponsor is critical. It's very important because what I would like to hopefully do is be able to, like I say, run the whole podcast and stream from there. If we can
Right.
do that, dude, our whole podcast will be Web3. Right now, we're using Riverside, which is fine. I love it. Nothing against Riverside. Absolutely. I support Riverside. No, very minimal issues, very minimal. And I mean this like it's very minimal issues on Riverside, but it's Web 2. Uh, I would like to, if Riverside was to go blockchain and decentralized, 100% I'd keep it. But I would prefer Web 3. I would prefer WebHash because that's where the website is. Let's make it happen.
It is
I
going
mean, let's make it happen. Uh,
the higher power is going to do it. I promise you.
yeah, I mean, they are all of those, all of our sponsors are behind us and support us because they support a global impact on the mental health field. And in fact, that brings up a great point. How
Mm.
is Web 3? And you know what? I might do some editing on this because I love what we're doing right now. How is Web 3 helpful and impactful in the mental health? You don't know, do you?
Me? No, I'm like ignorant to that. I have no idea. But I can say this is that the more people we reach, the more lives that we touch, the more positivity we can bring into the world by using these platforms of technology to be able to get to people who, even out in the middle of some way far away place in the remote area, wherever it is, they still can get the ability to be validated. Somebody can reach out to them and touch them or to their life and talk to them and help
So
them through whatever struggle they're going through. And that's like the existential mission for cohesive human existence.
yeah, no, 100%. And this is why I support Web3. This is why many people support Web3. Web3, and this is how was it impactful on mental health? Okay, good and a bad. Okay, Web3 boasts its level of autonomy and empowerment. Okay, it is boasts owning one's digital identity and data, uh, which reduces a sense of helplessness. Uh, it is platforms harvest, where it stops people from being able to harvest your data into their personal profit. So some of the I only use two, until I'm having to pay bills, but I only use two web browsers, which is Brave and Carbon. When I pay bills, I use Safari. So I know Safari and all these big tech companies are selling my data, and I'm not making any money off of them. So
Right.
um,
I didn't know
uh,
that. That's
shoot,
why damn
that
ads,
that's
like
why I want to do. I,
advertisements.
I want to get us connected to DTube. DTube is a Web3 of YouTube. That's going to be the next big YouTube platform. It's next. I mean, it's pretty popular. Um, but it fosters belonging and purpose. It helps those. It reduces burnout as it relates to corporate social media. Um, some projects even explore mental health directly, like tokenized therapy access or peer support platforms. So, one of the things that we could do, for an example, on that one is we can set up, like on some of these platforms, we can set up an NFT, right? And then we can say, as long as you have access, as long as you have this NFT, you have lifetime access to our whole podcast, right? And that could be a way, because we are offering, in a sense, mental health services. So as long as people have this platform or whatever, they have access to us. Um, but again, we're looking at trying to spread the message to everybody: big tech, small tech, tech wizards, engineers, professionals, people actively using and struggling, people not struggling and actively using. We're trying to reach a very broad and huge platform here, population here. It also, uh, let me see,
Catching up pretty quick to the 8.9 billion mark.
right, 100%. And
I thought 7 billion back in 2016 was a lot of people. I didn't think it was going to go this fast.
right, uh, the the downfall about Web3 is, depending on platforms, depending on a lot of things, is people can lose wallets, people can lose seed phrases, people can, and gas fees can be high on the blockchain network, which can increase people's anxiety. Yeah,
Okay.
I went to go move money around through this one platform. When I was especially very early on and new, I had to get it from one type of blockchain to another network, from one network to another network, and I was just trying to move like $10, right? Because that's all I needed on that one chain. And I'm like, oh shoot, I got $10 over here. Let me move it to this whole new network over here that's not even completely related. If you're moving big money, that's one thing, but I was just moving $10, and it said gas fees was $50, so I would have had to spend
$40 to move 10.
yeah, well, $50 with the was a gas fee, so I would have had to spend at least 60 to 65,
Oh, damn.
because or because you're talking about in total, right? Like I'd have the $65 just to move 10, right? And I'm like, so it gets interesting because it is complex. So I'm having in the early on, I struggled with learning these various networks. Like you have Ethereum network, you have the Base network, you have Avalanche network, you have oh God, there's so many, man. There's so many networks out there. Nillion is another network. That's a huge. Really support Nillion. Um, in fact, I want to bring it up because I know you've never seen. Um, you have never seen anything related to Web3, have you?
No, I don't even know what NFT is.
It's a non-fungible token. God, oh yeah, it goes above your head. I'm sorry. So this is the. So I'm fixing to show you some stuff. This is going to go way deep into your head.
With as complex as you have the new stuff, my generation created the actual activity of the.
My generation is making it better. So
Okay, but the programmers that started it back in the 70s and 80s are what
yeah,
established what is in existence right now. And the
yeah,
cool thing about it is why we got Ruben on the other side, his generation in the between the late six the mid to late 60s all the way to the 80s. Those guys are the ones that all um, developed the actual activated computers that were really running from back in the 50s and 60s.
no, no.
So
So just as
we're
this
all
is to
we're all
give.
unified in our functions.
Well, this is to give you a little bit of a walkthrough um, of Web3. This is
Okay.
Nillion. They're a huge project. I'm following several of their projects because just check it out. We're fixing to dig a little bit into.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little bit of a plug for him right there.
Yeah. But they are considered humanity's first blind computer. At least that's what you know, they advertise.
Okay.
Nillion decentralizes trust for sensitive data in the same way that blockchains decentralized transactions. This is some of the stuff that they are working to build. Okay. Nillion enables the training and inference of AI models in a secure and confidential manner, creating the backbone of secure personalized AI. You have decentralized DPN, Nillion's secure computing network forms a confidential backend for other DPN networks while creating the foundation for diverse physical resource networks to be built, such as in IoT, agriculture, or supply chains. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
That is a very huge one that you have, especially in the medical piece. And we're going to get to some of those stuff. Privacy enhancing technologies built directly into Nillion's infrastructure make it possible to store sensitive, confidential, or otherwise valuable data by distributing trust and relying on the highest cryptographic security standard. How it works: nodes are deployed with Nillion's NDK and connect to form compute clusters that distribute the trust of securely processing data. A blockchain execution uh, environment streamlined to only support intra-node use facilitates payments, requests, and network resource coordination. All of this can be traceable. It is secure. Um, you don't have to work now. I mean, you can lose money if you lose, any type of your access to anything that you got going on via your phrases, your or your seeds. You can lose your password, but you can't lose your seeds. If you lose your seeds, well, your seed is considered your key. So it's very, I mean, anything you do with that seed phrase or that key, you have to keep. And don't
Right.
give it to anybody who is watching this. Do not give your seed phrase to anybody. We get scams all the time on YouTube talking about we have this seed phrase. We don't know what to do with it. Complete scams. I delete all those comments because they're all scams. Connectivity layer, the network interfaces with external systems and blockchains to expand access to millions compute and storage. Anatomy of a million node, and this is some of their stuff. Okay,
Yeah, that's pretty advanced.
yeah, this is some of the stuff that they got going on right here.
Huh.
Encrypted trading platforms,
My,
quantum secure messaging,
my old
private healthcare analytics. Go ahead.
my old surveying, uh, when I was working for an engineering firm down in Lower Alabama, my survey party chief used to call me Noodle Noggin. So I'm just all that stuff is like filling my noodle noggin way up. That's some advanced stuff right there that I just don't know yet. I don't mean to be ignorant or not teachable, but that is some advanced stuff right there that I'm like
So,
pretty much
so
clueless dealing with.
that is okay.
That's
This
amazing stuff. It's amazing stuff to listen to and then understand it to the best of my ability, and that's all I can do. But that's pretty intense. Old noodle,
right. Hold
noodle
on.
not
I'm not done yet.
okay. I didn't mean
This
to
is some
interrupt
of
you.
the.
Like
No, you were good.
kind
No,
of floored.
no, you were good. This is some of the stuff that they have. Some of their networks and or program platforms that they are interconnected or and or connect connected with all of that stuff. So these are near. So these are some of the networks: Arbitrum, Aptus, and Near Protocol. Now this is their ecosystem. So this is freaking huge.
Wow.
Uh, Let me see.
Gee, I wonder where
Aptus
they.
aims to build the world's largest AI consumer layer powered by user driven AI agents, user generated personas, user governed AI models, and a complete user owned AI infrastructure. Uh, SALT is SALT's programmable ownership platform lets entities create segregated accounts and delegate wealth management without losing control of their assets. Crush is a multi-chain gaming protocol that leverages large language models and blockchain capabilities to create a new class of interactive and intelligent game agents. ZK Pass, I'm actually following ZK Pass. It is the ZK Pass's Transgate allows users to privately validate various data types on HTTPS sites without disclosing sensitive information. I don't think I don't think I have the ZK Pass set up on this computer, but I do have it on my other computer. You have literally monadic DNA. It lets you encrypt your DNA data to use with privacy respecting genomic or genomic, however you pronounce that. It's a word I never ever use. Sequencing services.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Skill, Skillful AI offers a personalized platform with domain specific virtual assistants, helping users stay updated with technological advancements. MailChain is a multi protocol platform for sending and receiving messages between blockchain addresses with a simple, secure, and decentralized email like interface. I actually have an email account with them.
yeah.
Rainfall. This is one of those I followed very, very closely. Check this out. Rainfall is a decentralized platform that preserves privacy while unlocking the value of user data, allowing secure earnings and real time social intelligence. That is a huge, 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 huge thing I followed. 100%. I actually have it. I got waitlisted, and after about 3 months, they finally approved me, or maybe 2 months, or I don't even remember, but they finally approved me. Rainfall is huge, 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 huge. But you have one of my favorites, and this is kind of, so we fall under, mm, we're not completely decentralized um, science, but in a sense we are. Okay, in a sense we are a form of decentralized science. Why do I say in a sense we are? Decentralized science is a one-stop. Well, for here, DeSci World is the one-stop shop for users to view, engage with, and understand all that is happening in the world of decentralized science. But what is it? And there's so many things up here too. Like check it out. Nillion.com is it if you want to know more. Also, Galaxy is another one. They have a huge ecosystem. Um, but what is decentralized science? And this is why I say we're
Decentralized
on
means,
the.
but it means everybody's got access to it, right?
No, can you read that?
I cannot.
Can you read that now?
Yeah, a little bit. Decentralized science, or
Yep.
DeSci, is a movement that leverages blockchain technology to transform the traditional scientific ecosystem. Okay.
It aims to democratize access to scientific research, enhance collaboration, and ensure greater transparency and reproducibility in scientific endeavors. By decentralizing various aspects of scientific research, DeSci seeks to reduce barriers to entry, foster global collaboration, and enhance the integrity of scientific data. This approach addresses challenges such as restricted access to research, reliance on centralized funding bodies, and long publication timelines. DeSci utilizes principles of decentralization, transparency, and tokenization to create a more open, transparent, and community driven scientific ecosystem. So when I say that we are somewhat, uh, that
So
we
to
that we
use
are that we are considered, when I say that we are considered a form of DeSci, uh, um, in a sense, we actually are. And why? Because we are a mental health related podcast, right? Mental health,
yeah,
substance use, uh, suicide prevention awareness. Again, trigger word here, trigger word if anybody's listening. Um, Wellness podcast. Our whole website is built on blockchain. Our podcast website is built on blockchain. Ruben, when he's ready to get his website up and running, it's also going to be on blockchain. So WebHash, since they are supporting us, and I'm calling, and we're calling them out. We want the whole podcast to be on blockchain. The whole podcast, the streaming pieces. I'm like all of it, right? Because we're talking about it, right? We're discussing research, all of that stuff. Like we're pulling research from everything, from DeSci, from the DeSci world to the Web 2 world, because we're on the blockchain. All of that stuff we're considered partially DeSci, right? Which I 100% support. Why do I 100% support that? Because you have these big institutions that's doing all this approving, disapproving, not approving, disapproving, all
right.
of this, all DeSci, you control it, you own it. You don't have this big funding people who say, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. When you look at most research, right, and this is the cool thing about DeSci, when you look at most research, even today, most research is only approved when it shows evidence.
Right.
When it shows evidence,
When it's
uh,
approved or not approved.
if it's not approved, it's because it is it most of the time, or most likely, did not show evidence to support what their hypotheses were saying, right, or showing. And DeSci is different. DeSci is regardless of the situation. If it supports, if it doesn't support, you can see it in real time, right? You can see it across the board. Uh, the funding, excuse me, no big entity can shut it down. Right? It shuts down when you shut it down, right? So that's the cool thing about it. Um, again, you said earlier that you didn't know much about Web3, right?
You just overloaded my donkey.
Okay.
No, not really. I followed along with you, and it's amazing to me at how much is advanced in the last 10, 15
Yep.
years alone.
Yep.
Um, what's that?
No, I said no. Go ahead. Yep.
Oh, just amazing how much. And the good thing about the technology advancement is that we can possibly reach the places that are just restricted to have uh, access to, and people, other human beings. Our goal is to help people across the planet, no
Yep.
matter what religious or political or sociological cultural system you're into. You're still a human being, and if you need help, we want to be there for you every moment at a time, one moment at a time. 86,400 moments in a day.
Yep. No,
So
you are 100% right. So this is one of our sponsors. This is probably one of, well, not probably, but this is one of,
the big dogs.
yes, and I say one of, not just the big dog, right? But this is one of my favorite sponsors. Uh, hopefully 3DNS can come in too, and so and be a sponsor for us. They allowed us to put their logo on our website again, one moment.chain.box. If you scroll down there, you'll see a link for our sponsors, um, sponsors, supporters, those we support, all of that stuff. But WebHash, again, they have agreed to sponsor. They sponsored the One Moment podcast. Our whole website, like I say, is was created via WebHash through their website building tools, through their website building platform. Absolutely phenomenal group. They believe in quality services. They provide community support. You don't have just one person helping you or just the admin helping you. You have the whole platform, the whole network. They are on
That's an
Discord,
amazing.
they're on Telegram. So if anybody knows the answer in the community, they give it, they help you out.
And that's
um,
an amazing thing because that leaves the human connection in with dealing with modern technology issues.
Absolutely. And so, no, you're right. And so, but let's talk a little bit about them, right? Look, again, it's for permanent websites for ENS and DNS domains. No coding required for them. Everything is Web3, so you don't have to do coding for WebHash. Um, you can connect any domain to it, uh, build websites that live forever, no single point of failure and censorship, restraint by nature. WebHash offers ultimate control over your website. IPFS, connect, like I say, any domain, ENS, DNS, 3DNS, many others. .eth, dot box, .xyz, .com, .org, .gov, .edu, whatever you could think of. .ooo, .io, I mean, there's so many domains out there.
Yeah,
Whatever. So
because
create
got
unlimited.
an idea for a website, but
Yes.
they want their own content on it, and the web hash will help you develop that.
Yep. Integrations allows you to showcase your content from your favorite apps. You build it, you own it. Literally, this is some just a kind of customizable templates here. This is on the phone, but I'll show you ours. I'm gonna walk you through some of our stuff. Um, uh, they got many blocks that you can add, and they're always updating. And this is some of their templates. Okay, like I say, some of them. I got over 100 templates. Now, what is the price for this? So you can do monthly or you can do yearly. Uh, I've been following them since almost the beginning. Since almost, we have one of the largest projects on the WebHash ecosystem. Uh, so that's just a FYI. Once we get Ruben up there and we add that to their, oh, we're going to be the largest, the complete largest. I don't think anybody on the WebHash platform or network is going to, be as large as we are. But that's probably a little bit of ego talking, but that's also truth. Okay. And I say that humbly, confidently, and I say that because WebHash is, when I tell you, man, y'all are going to get tired of hearing me say WebHash and talk about them. Everybody is. I ain't gonna lie, but I love WebHash, man. I love the people there. I love everything about WebHash. We bought uh, the lifetime access, which is at that time when they first came out, it was $160. Now it was 0.069 ETH. Now it is zero point 0.3 ETH. That is the current price for a lifetime subscription. Okay. Now they have multiple plans from the lifetime subscription to the $71.88 a year to the free plan. Now here's the deal. If you go to many other website applications, you have to pay $15 to $20 per gigabyte of memory, right? So uh, anytime you you max out your memory, you have to pay more. You have to you know buy more data or more memory.
The system
Pay a
create,
whole
right?
right.
More money.
Check this out. Excuse me. $4.99 per 1 gigabyte of memory, permanent storage. Okay, that is $4.99 per gigabyte of permanent storage. Uh, Perfect for permanent site hosting, one-time payment, no recurring fees. Add more storage as needed with upgrade options. Who is WebHash for? Creators, influencers, artists, businesses, anybody. If you want a website, like I say, check them out. Now, this is what our website looks like off of the WebHash platform. One moment, we do not believe the sky is the limit. We believe empowerment leads to self confidence, and self confidence leads to achieving dreams. About us, right? This is just some information about us. So we can go to consulting. I'm not offering me personally through One Moment PLC. I don't offer counseling. My current employer has not approved me to do counseling or that type of clinical services outside of them. I told them when I said I don't want to do anything related to counseling. I only want to do the podcast. So, I want to keep it where I like my job, I enjoy my job, and I want to stay where I'm at. Um, but we got a professional background. Let me just show you some of the stuff. So this is some of the stuff that we have up here. All right. This is like I say, amazing. I think I have to make this print a little bit bigger, but that'll be okay. All right. And go back. Clinical supervision. We offer a plethora of clinical supervision services. Our supervision services are based on the 12 core functions. All right. Like this is their website that I just took a template, you know, and revised it, edited it, did my own thing. Our code of ethics for not only the PLLC but also the this is
That's a
more
critical
so
thing for a lot of prospective people willing to come on here to read, and they can see where we hold ourselves accountable and transparent into what we're actually doing.
absolutely. Absolutely. And when we go for international accreditation, we have to have a code of ethics put on our website. So this is on our website. We've added two what they actually suggested that we needed as a minimum. We're going to be adding probably a little bit more, but this holds us to a higher standard. We only not only do we have our United States federal and state laws we have to follow, and if anybody's licensed like or certified like Ruben and myself, we also have our own uh, code of ethics from our regulatory process that we have to abide by. We also have other various laws that we have to abide by. But on the international level, uh, because we are going for that, we have to have also a higher standard. And I say a higher standard, and what I mean by a higher standard is kind of something that is a little bit more broad than even our personal codes of ethics or professional codes of ethics that regulate our licenses and or certifications. So this is more, some of these are more around global or international codes of ethics, but at the same time, we I threw this in there. Our also threw our codes of ethics in there that determine various things. Um, One Moment Journal. This is one of the largest projects we have today. If you want to go to and I'm gonna come back to that. Okay, One Moment Podcast. I still have to update this website, so bear with me on this. But this is our website, brought to you by Ruben owns Live and Thrive. I own One Moment PLLC. Every Wednesday at 3 p.m. But now we're doing Fridays too at 2:30. On the One Moment podcast, we talk about blah 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 blah. I don't know if this is working yet, but I know this link works. There's Ruben. There's myself. There's a little bit about us. Here's all of. I have to update some of these links because we've changed up some stuff. Now, if you want to donate, we to the podcast, we accept crypto and PayPal. Those are our only two ways of accepting financial stuff. Um, Listen, if you like what you hear as you watch our stuff, um, buy us a cup of coffee. Right? That's we don't make any money doing this stuff. Okay, we have sponsors, but we don't make money off of our sponsors. We don't ask our sponsors for no money um, at all. You can donate directly to us by buying each of us a cup of coffee, or you can also support us. You might not want to donate money. You might not be able to donate money at all. But what you can do if you need some counseling, if you're in North Carolina, right? How can you support the podcast? You can go to seek services from the Place to Heal located in Sanford. You can also go to, and I'm gonna show you some of that stuff. You can also go to if you're in the state of Texas, you need tech and you want counseling services, Bright Life Therapy and Mindfully Me Counseling. Check them out. All right. That's another way you can support us. They support us. They sponsor us, so you can, if you need counseling, if you have insurance, no insurance, Medicaid, check them out. So this is just some of that that we have.
Yeah, and for to get a little bit more back over here to the
I
west.
did not realize that didn't show up. So hold on, because I thought that was showing up.
Right. Well, not just in Sanford, North Carolina, or Texas. I'm certain there's places in Michigan that provide these kind of services as well. I know there's some here in Colorado because I'm uh, highly active with those types of facilities. So yeah, there's resources out there for people that are hurting. You gotta use them. If you don't use them, you're not going to get any results. And results are very important to show that you're working to get through. Trust me, it's
Yep.
it's going to save your life.
Yep. Now I want to go to, and I have to update this, so bear with me. Because
Uh,
I just got to a point where I can actually do a
you,
lot of stuff. Like right now, we're BSing, we're messing around.
Yeah. Do you know
This is
how long we've
our
been? You know how long we've been on this already? Or are you not caring?
I don't. I honestly, I'm not even caring.
Okay.
Hour has been an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I only got 45 more minutes of my birthday to waste somehow. I might still be trying to reach out to somebody who might need some help. So
Right. So this is our sponsors page. One Moment Podcast. Again, she. This is the
the
place to
place
heal. Miss Sierra Suros and her team, located in Sanford. Every other Wednesday, we meet in Sanford at her facility. She sponsors us. She hosts us. We do live broadcasting every other Wednesday, unless it's somebody who doesn't want to be live broadcasted and would much rather be recorded and then we can edit whatever, then that's a different story. So, but hey, it is what it is. We're open to doing whatever. We're trying to meet the needs of all people here. Okay. Um, Again, mindfully me counseling.
I mean,
This is um, Miss Patricia Hernandez, uh, state of Texas again. Uh,
we're
Bright
at in,
Life Fair.
we're at in Texas though, because
Well,
Texas is pretty
she
damn big.
does all. So she does face to face and virtual. So if you look at Mindfully Me Counseling PLLC, or if you go to our website and go to our sponsors and you click on hers
Does it
picture,
say the
it'll
town she lives in though, or that she's working in?
well, she does virtual, so it can be
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's great.
yeah. So she does virtual and face to face. But anyways, if you go to our sponsors page, you see her. Click on her page, or click on her picture. It'll take you to her page. It'll give you all the information about her. Bright Life Therapy, also in the state of Texas. She only does virtual. But she's many openings, wide open with therapy appointments. Dubby, if you
There
go
it
to
is.
dubby.gg, you will see all of their products. Now, listen, any product they have, use the promo code one moment, okay, to get 10% off. Okay, one moment to get 10% off. All right. I got many products that we don't have up here. All right.
I wish I had me a W right now.
Right. I'm telling you.
It's getting late. I need some energy.
I know, right? Now, I've already showed you that. I'm gonna show you two more. This is 3DNS. For anybody who's watching, this is 3DNS. Check them out. If you need a domain, buy it. They are an amazing team, amazing organization. Definitely, we support them. Uh, hopefully, hopefully, if somebody from 3DNS is watching this live broadcast or even post broadcast, please, 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 we are asking you to sponsor the podcast. We support you. Our domains are through y'all. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We respect y'all. We want y'all to sponsor this podcast. Okay. And I think y'all are probably going to say yes now. But seriously, this is for anybody. They're an amazing organization. All right. Um, so check them out. And then the last one is going to be, guess who?
Is it?
Vital Apparel. All right. They are a mental health related clothing company. Okay. Um, More on the sports side, but hey, it is what it is. Um, this is what they have. Listen, if you go to vitalapparel.com or vtlapparel.com, yeah, if you go to vtlapparel.com, all right, you can check out. They have men and women's clothing. If you see anything you like, check it out. Use promo code 1moment to get 15% off any product. Okay, 15% off any and all products they have. All right. Like I say, any product, and you click here, you can see men's, women's, new arrivals, our story. The owners struggled with mental health personally. And so what they did is they decided to get together, put a clothing brand together in support of bringing awareness for mental health. So, but that's a little bit about us, kind of a walkthrough about us. And like I say, I want y'all to definitely, anybody, please, 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 check us out. We are, trying, listen, we don't make money from doing this. And we're not asking for any money from anybody. We're not, no, we're not doing, we have our sponsors. We are grateful for them. But we
Right.
do this
If
not
we've-
for the money.
You've helped us. If we've helped you, you can help us too. That's up to you. We're not asking for anything though.
Yeah, no. We ain't asking for no money at all. We don't do this for money. We do this free of charge for the community. Yes, we are a upcoming podcast. We are building, I think, a great legacy here, great foundation for everybody. For people who might need help or struggling. But we do this free for the community. We want people to have access to be aware. We want to provide education. We want to do a lot of things for the community, for the world, for anybody who needs help or who might be in a dark place in their life. And again, if you see Jelly Roll, if anybody knows Jelly Roll, okay. Hey, I'm dead serious. If anybody knows Jelly Roll or sees Jelly Roll, tell him we want him on the One Moment podcast. Okay, tell him.
It would be a great privilege if we could get him, but I don't know if that ever happens. But
I don't know. Listen, I can't afford to pay him.
No,
he's worth
paying him. He might come up on here.
yeah.
He's a real dude.
Yeah, I can't afford to pay anybody to come on here. I ain't gonna lie. We can't afford it.
Right.
But we will be privileged and honored.
And as the old goes, right, time is money, right?
Right. Time is money. And, listen, this is to Mr. Jelly Roll. If you're paying attention, if this can get out there, listen,
that would be
on the podcast.
That would be so.
Like to bring you on the podcast and talk about the what?
I said it would be so cool. I don't know much about him, but I know it would be cool to get somebody that was interested in supporting mental health awareness across the planet.
Well, see, he is a person who struggled with mental health and substance use his own self. He spent time in prison. He does a lot for the community, in the community, with the community. Great dude, great guy, great artist. But yes, we want him on the podcast. That is a huge thing that we want. I would love to have him. Y'all might not be able to hear this. That's okay. But this is.
That's.
I am not okay. I'm barely getting by. I'm losing track of days. Deep at night. I am not okay. I'm hanging on the rails. So if I say I'm fine, just know I learned to hide it well. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But I know God knows when when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright. I woke up today, I almost stayed in bed. I had the devil on my back and voices in my head. Some days it all ain't bad, some days it all gets worse. Some days I swear I'm better off laying in that dirt. Well, I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. I know one day we'll see the other side. The pain will wash away in a holy water time. We all gonna be alright. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. We're not okay, but it's all gonna be alright. I'm not okay, and that's alright.
That is my very first Jelly Roll song.
Yeah, he's a
Very
very
first.
powerful dude. He's a very, very powerful story, man. Does a lot, like I say, for and with the community. He is one of my favorite artists. Very, I mean, he is. A lot of his songs, um, are related to mental health, substance use, everything in between. 100%. There's another artist I'd love to get on here, and quite a few of them. I'd love to. I mean, this is my personal invite. All right, like straight up. And this is not even a one moment podcast, official podcast. Okay, this is like us testing, making sure everything is working across the board. All systems are live and still working. We're still live across every platform. I'm not getting any we're not getting any red flags at all. Um, and so that's just a FYI for everybody.
Speaking of that, red flags, I'm in the garage again, and it seems like I got 3 bars. I'm doing good.
There you go. So right now we're live. We're doing great, and there's no hiccups at all. I don't know. I think it's because you do it during the day. Uh, and I think that's the issue, but listen, this is my call out. Don't care who the artist is. Eminem, Jelly Roll, um, gosh, there's so many, man. I think his name is Jay Webb or something like that. I think, don't quote me. I'm fixing to pull it up because yeah, Jay Webb. If you don't know who Jay Webb is, and if nobody knows who Jay Webb is,
Suicide notes and love letters. Suicide notes and love letters.
Vodka, whiskey, cheap kitchen cocaine, gon' make you miss me. Kurt Cobain, gon' spend my check on pills and drinks for the last damn time today. Suicide notes ain't love letters. Suicide note, not a love letter. Dear anyone that can find the time in the life to find and listen. If my fight here is over, I pray my soul be forgiven. Cause I've been hurting like hell, getting tired of myself, yeah. I cope by smoking and hoping that maybe tomorrow is different. I let go of emotions, but tell me, who am I really kidding? Cause grown men don't cry, just bottle it up inside, yeah. Wide knuckle on the steering wheel, 105 when I drive, trying just to fail. Better than feeling like shit, cause I only feel better when vodka, whiskey, cheap cocaine gon' make you miss me. Kurt Cobain gon' spend my check on pills and drinks for the last damn time today. Suicide notes ain't love letters. Suicide note, not a love letter. And my life for pills and a bottle. Fuck that bitch, she left me hollow. Drown your memory when I swallow down my pride away. Vodka, whiskey, cheap cocaine gon' make you miss me. Kurt Cobain gon' spend my check on pills and drinks for the last damn time today. Suicide notes ain't love letters. Suicide note, not a love letter. Suicide notes ain't love letters. Suicide notes ain't love letters. Suicide note, not a love letter.
That's who Jay Webb is, huh?
Yep.
All right.
So there's so many people, man. Like, look, anybody who wants to come on the podcast and talk, be a speaker, be a guest, whatever you want to call it, whatever that title is, come on. Okay. Dead serious. Anybody. Doesn't matter. Going to be bringing WebHash, the owner of WebHash, on here in the next several weeks. So he's going to be coming on board. We're going to be talking about the WebHash platform. And of course, I don't know if he's a mental health specialist or not, but hey, that he don't know. He might be a mental health specialist in his web hash way, or his non-web hash, what he does in his outside of web hash. So hey, he could be, but he's going to be coming on, him and or both he and his team. Either way, he wants to run that route. That's fine with me. But he said that we're going. He did agree to come on, so we got him lined up in the next several weeks. Don't have a scheduled date yet, but he's going to be coming on. Anybody. We got some good stuff going on with us. So we're going to be continuing to grow, continuing to get better, continuing to go through the process and do what we got to do.
That's right. And we like to put the invitation out there to those that are not popular. Don't get me wrong. I like the upcoming artistry that's coming up, but there's some old schools out there too that I'll go to the very top of the rung because they had such an influence in my life in a real powerful way. And that's Metallica. I'm going to blurt it out there and just say, if I ever got any of the members of Metallica or former members of Metallica to come on our podcast and talk with us too about things that they go through, what an amazing thing that would be to really go global, because they're the big ones. If you're going to go big, what do you got to do? You got to go home. And that's okay, because home is supposed to be a good place.
Yep.
Supposed to be.
Yep.
Anyways,
listen,
I'm trying to rant, but I'm just living it like I see it.
No, dude. I was asked earlier today, I don't know if I told you this or not, but somebody asked me, what is my career goal? And I'm like, oh, shoot, that's a great question. I said, you know, I want us to go to be on the global side, man. I want us to be able to make changes, help save lives one moment at a time in
What a better
every single country around the world.
Right. And see, the thing is that everybody thinks of Metallica as being like really heavy. Oh no, there's much heavier out there, and they're doing productive things too.
Yeah.
So
there's
ones that are there on the outcast edges. Those guys are the ones that I drew a source of strength from, which is amazing to think of, but I did. Some really big names get into them.
There's so many people, man. Like, listen,
it's the variety of humanity,
right?
So there you go.
And it just boils down to this, simple as this: we have a wide open invite, anybody, regardless. That being said, I think we're going to close this out with a good, with our own personal, because we went over everybody. Okay, we went over all of our sponsors. I'm going to close this out with our own advertisement. Okay, and
because all you got is this.
After this, we're going to end the live. Okay, so as always, be familiar. Peace and love.
I am constantly amazed by the profound impact of sharing our struggles with each other. The one day at a time phrase helps us remember to pause. In a pulsating world, we often forget to pause. That's where One Moment Podcast began its journey, committed to nurturing mindfulness, change, and advocacy around the world, reducing stigmas associated with mental health, substance use, and suicide, and changing the way the world reacts to these taboo topics. Your voice of reason starts here. Founded by mental health professionals and agents for change, our mission is to offer insightful narratives that foster not just reflection, serenity, and insights, but to tackle the problems and solutions of mental health, substance use, and suicide on a global scale. We are making it our vision and mission to make a global impact on the mental health, substance use, and suicide crisis. It is easy to feel isolated and unheard, or like you're carrying your burdens alone. On the One Moment Podcast, we remind you that you're not alone in your struggles. There are millions of people worldwide who are struggling, and the weight of your experiences deserve to be understood. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to have a voice. The One Moment Podcast is a safe haven for connection. We have weekly podcasts. Join us to learn more about mental health, substance use, suicide, community initiatives, and much more as we tackle these global crises, creating change in the world. Change begins when we recognize there is a problem. Remember, change starts with you. Visit onemoment.chain.box to learn more about our podcast and to connect with us on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels to stay up to date on our episodes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, One Moment Podcast. If you would like to support us, you can find the links to donate directly to us on our official site, onemoment.chain.box. You can also support our sponsors. We are presently sponsored by W Energy, The Place to Heal, Mindfully Me Counseling, PLLC, Bright Life Therapy, PLLC, and WebHash. Check our official site for more information. Subscribe now. Some photos in this ad were created by Grok.